Hi, friends. I want to thank Sharon North Jones of SNJ Studios in Omaha, Nebraska, for suggesting today's topic, which is right there. If there's a subject you would like me to talk about, please reach out, and I will get to it. If it's in my lane, I'll do it. So I want to start today by telling you a story that happened in my studio during COVID. So my daughter was a senior in high school, and we created a workspace for her that was adjacent to where I was working teaching voice online. And I heard her warming up for her choir because the choir teacher, God bless her, was running her choir on Zoom. I just so much love to all those beautiful music educators who were trying to make choirs work during Zoom, and they were so clever and so great. But anyway, so this woman was doing this, and I hear my daughter sort of check in, and then the warm-up start. And the first warm-up that happened, and I don't know whose call it was, but the first warm-up that I heard was a Rossini scale. Now, for those of you who do not know, a Rossini scale is an octave and a half. It goes, see if I can do it. Bum, 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 bum. That's a Rossini scale, octave and a half. And it was fast, and she was going up, 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 up the scale. And that was the warm-up. And I was very quietly being horrified in the next room because I was thinking, that's kind of like warming up for a 5K by running a 5K. That's not really the thing. So I think if that director or whoever, maybe the director put the pianist in charge of the warm-ups. I don't know what happened. But if that person had known how warm-ups actually work, they might have made a different choice. That person might have made a different choice. Sorry, I'm having curly hair issues today. Anyway, athletes learn early on that warming up is part of their training. And because we singers are using our bodies as musical instruments, we need to warm up too, which I think most of you know. If you have had classical training, you may do this on the regular, even if you don't know the physiology of how it works. And if you are a PM singer, that's popular music, for those of you who may not be aware of that term. So anything you sing into a microphone, basically, all the other music, you may not be a warmer-upper, or you may not warm up your people with that idea in mind. So whatever kind of singer or voice coach you are, you probably will get more benefit from warming up if you knew why you were warming up and how warming up works. And that might influence which warm-ups you picked and how you progressed. So today I'm going to share some reasons that warm-ups are actually really cool. You know me. I like to think about how things we do with our bodies and brains are very cool. And I'm going to make some suggestions about how to get the most out of your warm-up time. So stay with me. Oh, I forgot to do that. Yay. Thanks to Sherry for this idea. I am Meredith Colby. I am the author of Money Notes, How to Sing High, Loud, Healthy, and Forever, which introduces neurovocal, a way to approach singing for popular styles based on brain science. So if you are interested, that is at Amazon.com. I have all kinds of information at neurovocal.com about that. I teach classes to voice teachers, and then I also work privately one-on-one with adult singers, whether they are avocational or professional, and with other voice pros like myself. So if you're interested in working one-on-one with me, go to the site and get the skinny on that. If you appreciate my content that I put out for you and I put on makeup for you guys, come on. Give me some hearts, give me some thumbs, give me some comments. That is the currency of social media. So I sure do appreciate it when you do that for me. And is that it? Oh no, I have a freebie today. But here's the thing. If you are on my mailing list, you got this freebie in the email. And if you are not on my email list, get thee to my email list because I send out free stuff almost every week. I do these live streams, I let you know about the live streams. People on my email list get better discounts to things than other regular people on social media. So I just kind of want you to get on my email list so that you get all the goodies. You get all the goodies. Today and tomorrow, because I send it out again tomorrow as a replay, #replay. I will send you a link to a blog post about muscle tension dysphonia, but it's not scary. It's a crib sheet. So if you are a voice trainer or if you are a professional singer, this is something that you'll kind of want to know a little bit about, and this is a really good blog post about that. So get thee to my site and get on my email list so you get all the good stuff. Now, let's get to our subject today. Why do we need to warm up? For this, I took my cue from athletes. I just went a-Googling to find some stuff that athletes think. So my questions were answered by the Journal of Strength and Conditioning Research. Yes, there is a Journal of Strength and Conditioning Research. Oh, and the Journal of Sports Physiology. Who knew? So warm-ups actually literally warm you up, you guys. Literally. Effective warm-ups create an increase in muscle temperature. Isn't that cool? Which enhances elasticity. I have slides for this. There we go. So warming up that temperature enhances elasticity. So for singers, so that's a thing for athletes, but for singers, that's probably going to influence how much of your range you have access to, right? So second, warm-ups can significantly improve muscle strength, which I was a little bit surprised about. Like, why are you stronger when it's warmed up? But you are. So for us, we singers, that's a stamina issue. So because strong muscles can do their job better and longer. And warming up also increases the blood flow to the muscles. So this is kind of the thing that I think a lot of us know, maybe we do. Anyway, I've been saying it for years and years to my clients that it increases blood flow to the tissue. And that blood flow delivers oxygen and nutrients, and it boofs up the muscle tissue a little bit so that we just sound better. So you sound better. And let's face it, it's all about sounding better. And we will have more optimal performance. And then last, that extra oxygen that I just mentioned that comes with the blood that goes to the tissue, that increases your muscle endurance. So all of these things, even though this was about athletes, muscles are muscles, you guys. Connective tissue is connective tissue. And all of this stuff applies to us as singers. So it's a big deal. How is the next thing? How does it work? When you think about warming up, think about that muscle and connective tissue. If you don't know what a larynx looks like, just Google larynx images. Boom, done. You can see the muscles of a larynx. The things that I just said apply to the muscle and connective tissue. Connective tissue meaning like the cartilage and the ligaments. And they will be affected by this increased heat, this increased oxygen, this increased blood flow, right? Your goal in warming up is literally to warm up the body. So the systems involved in singing. Now, depending on who you're talking to, there are different systems that are involved in singing. Alignment's a big deal, but at the very core, it is the respiratory, right? The breathing system, and the phonatory, the sound-making system. Those two systems, which arguably could be called the same system, but still, all the singing bits. We'll just call them the singing bits, shall we? You are activating these systems in a way that they are not typically activated in the course of a day. So as I'm talking, sure, I'm activating my respiratory and phonatory systems, but not in the same way. It's a bigger deal with singing. It's much more specific with singing. That's a whole nother broadcast. We're not going to go there now. We're just talking about warm-ups today. So then the last question is, which warm-ups should you? So what constitutes a good warm-up that does all these things without taxing or stressing the muscles before and connective tissue before we're actually ready to do the the harder stuff of singing, because singing melodies is a bigger deal than just humming on a pitch. Two things. One is I want you to think about warm-ups and exercises as being separate. When you are working on exercises, you are developing skills. When you are warming up, I want you to just think about warming up, okay? If you are also developing skills, okay, fine, but please have that be a different goal. So warming up is a thing unto itself. Exercises are a thing unto themselves. And then the second thing I want you to keep in mind is that warm-ups should be contextual, okay? And we're going to get to that in a second. So if you think of warm-ups and exercises as being distinct, we're just going to talk about warm-ups themselves because that was the subject today. Few things I want you to remember, okay? So I'm going to suggest some... Do I have slides for this? I do. Okay. There we go. When you do these warm-ups, please stay in a comfortable M1 range. So that M1, otherwise known as chest voice or speaking voice or modal voice. So any of those, there's probably other names for it too, but hopefully I've hit upon one that you use in your work. But that comfortable, easy speaking range, please keep things in that range, okay? Because it's, I'm not going to say why. We'll talk about why another time. But just trust me that if you keep that, and comfortable. So, right, so you're not going to push your client down to the bottom of their range. You want to be in a comfortable M1 range. Secondly, SOVT. So when these warm-ups ideally are going to be some version of a semi-occluded vocal tract exercise. Fancy talk for make it hard for the air to come out your mouth. So, and there's all kinds of stuff on the internet about that. So if you are interested in getting more information about SOVTs and how they work, have at it. There's tons out there. I'm going to suggest things like humming. Well, first of all, small range, okay? I hear people warming up on like an octave. That's no. An octave is not a huge amount on a piano, but it's a huge amount on a voice. So like keep the range small, you guys. Like literally a single pitch is fine. Single pitch, major third, I want maybe a fifth, but don't get carried away. You can just literally hum on single pitches. Like an M or an N. Okay? That can be a warm-up. Just breathing and then an easy phonation. Really comfortable, really easy. And then Wendy Martelli's here. And she says, love how you just explained SOVT. Hard to make the air come out. Right? Well, that's kind of what it is, right? So there's a lot of SOVTs and they're all about making it hard for the air to come out. So notice when I hum, for instance, thank you, Wendy, when I hum, no air can come out my mouth. It has to go out my nose. So I'm making it a little bit harder for the air to come out. So easy peasy. Or maybe straw phonation. There's a lot about straw phonation online. V's create that hard to make the air come out thing. That might be a warm-up, or the same thing on a Z sound, or whatever that would be, ZCH, that thing. So any of that, okay? And not loud. Even if your student wants to make it loud. If your client is trying to be loud, try to rein them in. Please do not let them be too loud for those first little bit. And then warm-ups should be contextual. Context. I'm all about the context. So context is huge. Who is your client? If your client is a 14-year-old, they are young and made of plastic. They do not need lots and lots of warm-ups. If your client is 66 and goes to choir once a week and warms up with you once a week, they are not stretchy and made of plastic. They need more warm-ups. Okay, context. Please be appropriate to the person in front of you. So 2 minutes for that 14-year-old, maybe 5 minutes or even 6 minutes for your older client, or your client who is just getting back on the horse, or somebody who is not as confident on their voice, or they've had some kind of actual physical or mental challenges or trauma around their voice. Take your time. Take your time. For the person who just bopped in from their high school and they have all the confidence in the world, and they're young, and 2 minutes, fine. You know what I'm saying? So context is a really big deal. Anyway, thank you very much for being here with me today. I hope this was helpful. And if it was, again, if you're seeing this on the replay, please comment, hearts, thumbs, likes on YouTube, all the stuff. And if you, oh yeah, on YouTube, all the stuff is underneath. Thank you very much for being here with me today. Have a wonderful week, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.